Welcome to the 8th and final part of movement for the immune system. Today I'm going to just be talking about some random stuff. I'm looking at my notes here because I knew I wouldn't keep it all in my head because it's not all one topic. So just some other random thoughts that I've had around factors you can consider. Charlie's taking a nap on the window seat. Charlie's health advice is when in doubt, take a nap. Look at that little leg hanging off the side. Especially if you can take a nap on a window seat in the sun. That's great advice, Charlie. Thank you. Completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, so just some other things to think about when you're thinking about what to consider if you want to better support your body's ability to respond to things, and including immune response. And essentially, we're just trying to put our bodies in a position to succeed. So whether you can do one of the things mentioned somewhere in this 8-part series, or whether you can do all of the things, what's important is just taking even just a small step towards doing a little bit more to support our bodies that are doing so much for us all of the time. So let's see. I already talked a little bit in the last one about over-exercising and how that can suppress the immune system. So I had a note about that, but you can go look at part 7 if you want to know more about that. The floor is your friend. That's a note I made to myself. Sitting on the floor instead of on a couch or another soft, comfortable surface is a great way to build more movement into your day without having to really do anything. Having a cat is a great way to build less movement into your day. Yeah, sitting on the floor, you get the whole body movement of getting down and up from the floor. You can challenge yourself to do it without using any touch points. There is an interesting study, I believe, about kind of the correlation between how many times you have to touch something or how many areas of your body are touching things as you stand up, and that having a direct correlation with all-cause mortality. So they found that people can who can sit down on the ground and stand up without needing to use their hands or needing to kind of get down in a systematic way, have a lower percentage, a lower risk of all-cause mortality, as opposed to people who really struggle to get down and have to use multiple ways of supporting themselves. So it gives you that opportunity for that whole body exercise, and you can use it just kind of as a fun challenge to yourself to try to find as many different ways as you can to get down to the floor and up from the floor. And also, when you're sitting on a hard surface, it's easier to maintain better alignment as opposed to just kind of sinking into furniture and having it conform to you. You are having to conform to the hard surface, which does a couple of things. It gives you kind of an easier way to control your alignment, like seeing if your pelvis is neutral as opposed to it being pulled into a tucked position. It also is more uncomfortable, so you generally tend to find yourself shifting through multiple positions more frequently than you would if you were on a really comfortable surface. So you're getting kind of these natural shifts in movement. And the third thing is that when you have kind of these pressure points, so when you're on a hard surface, and it's creating more pressure on your body. Those pressure points, once they're released, cause blood to flow to that area, so it's kind of helping with your circulation also. So the floor is one of your best and least expensive exercise tools. I talked a little bit about shaking yesterday, but bouncing is also great. So just kind of either jumping up and down, or if you have one of those mini trampolines, those can be great for kind of increasing circulation, and they're frequently recommended by people talking about lymphatic system support. So that's fun. You could also like do some jump roping. Of course, paying attention to hydration and sleep and nutrition, all of those things are affecting our bodies. Cutting down on sugar and alcohol. I know it's a very tempting time to be kind of comforting ourselves with treats, and also like if you are stuck at home, maybe using that time to relax a little bit more in ways that are not necessarily supporting your immune system. So just use moderation. Already talked about that in an earlier one. Oh, using non-toxic, more natural-based cleaners and soaps, and avoiding the extra work that your body has to go through to process all of the chemicals, like the harsher chemicals that are in a lot of cleaning products. And I was thinking about that because obviously when there is a virus outbreak, we're really being conscientious about cleaning surfaces, and that is of course important, and you want to, if you are in a location where you really need to be making sure that all of the surfaces are clean, you want to be using something that you know is effective. But if you're at home and you're more isolated and you're not so worried about having to constantly be keeping things like 100% spick and span as far as bacteria and stuff go, then switching to some more natural cleaning things, which will still, like, they can still have antiviral qualities to them and still be really effective at cleaning and sanitizing things. And they also they put less stress on your body. So all those kind of harsher chemicals, toxic chemicals, however you want to think of them, your body has to kind of break them down and process them, which means it's doing a lot of extra work and also is not available. Kind of when I was talking about the digestive system and the endocrine system, if your body is busy trying to work on those things, that means it doesn't have the energy to focus on other things that might be essential bodily functions as well. So it's just a way to kind of reduce the stress load on your body. EWG.org is a great resource, environmental working group. They give a lot of ratings for different kind of household cleaning products, and you can go there and you can look up the ones that you have in your house right now and see like what rating they've given it as far as kind of how potentially dangerous it is versus how safe and not toxic it is. So that's a good resource. Also, if you are a makeup wearer, if you are staying home now, if you are self-isolated, a great time to maybe take a break from makeup for a while. And or you can also, I don't know if it's also Environmental Working Group or a different website that gives ratings for different makeups and the ingredients in them and how harmful they are for your body or how safe they are for your body. So that's another thing you can look at when trying to reduce kind of the stress load and workload on your body. Also, great time to just go through and clean all of your makeup brushes. If you're like me, you don't do that as often as you should, and they're touching your face all the time, getting a lot of bacteria and stuff. So great time to just like give your face a breath. I mean, as you can tell from my videos, I don't really wear makeup most of the time, very infrequently. But I know some people that's a part of their daily routine, so might be just a good time to take a little bit of a break and investigate your products a little bit more, do some research, and clean all of your materials.